Oh, hi, everybody. Fancy seeing you here. Today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast will preview Cowboys and Saints. We will hear about the budding bromance of Micah Parsons and Mike Zimmer and what it means for the NFL. And I've got some weird thoughts on Shannon Sharpe and Instagram Live. And it's all right meow. Welcome in. It's good to see you. It's good to be around you. What a blessed day. How fortunate are we all to be here on earth. Today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast, I'd like to introduce you to our panel. We got a lot coming up for you. We're going to preview the Saints and the Cowboys in all the best ways, with help from Trayvon Diggs at one point. We're going to talk about Mike Zimmer and Micah Parsons and their budding and growing relationship and how glorious it is and how that means that the whole NFL is screwed. We're going to do all those things. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it with two people. And two other people, kind of.
Four total.
Four people, but two here.
Two here, yeah.
I am Jeff Kavanaugh. He's former Cowboys wide receiver, Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Yeah, Kit Kat.
What's up? We got it done.
I got it
done, baby.
Done.
I guess I can't just talk about people who the camera is facing. Katya's here too.
It's okay.
Katya is the most important part. Without her, nothing happens.
I hit live.
Or work. She hit live.
Yes.
And those buttons to make audio. If you're in the chat today, what's your favorite buddy cop film is what I want from you. And please hit the like and subscribe. It's very useful to us, okay? Hit those buttons. Those would be good.
Bad Boys?
Bad Boys is great. Beverly Hills Cop is great.
Axel?
What?
Remember when he came into the store, he was looking for his friend, and Balky?
Oh.
He was like, who should he act like? Axel. Axel? It's like Axel.
All I remember is I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And
he was like, shut the F up. He's like, no, I cannot.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go visit with Joe Hoyt in just a couple of minutes. One of our Cowboys beat writers, phenomenal man who is out at the Star, who has some things for us. But I have to start somewhere else, which is not Cowboys, and I apologize for it. But I just wanted, I did a test this morning.
It is sports related.
It's NFL-ish.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if you guys saw. Shannon Sharpe accidentally went live on Instagram, and there's some stuff going on, some sounds in the background. I could like stuff like that, and immediately they went into the danger, and I guess his PR guy was like, "It was hacked," and then Shannon Sharpe eventually was like, "It wasn't. I need to tell you what was happening."
But Jeff, how many buttons does it take?
Yes. So I checked this morning. I tested. I had to unlock my phone. Because he said he accidentally did it. Like he tossed his phone on the bed, and then he was on Instagram
while
Live.
you were doing something?
What do you mean?
Did you test it while you were active?
No, I was talking to you.
Oh, well, you weren't doing.
So like I had my phone, right? Open
That's
phone.
for sure.
I'm gonna hit Instagram. That's one. You have to hit plus. That's two. Go to live is 3, and then hit the live button. That's 4. I don't know how it happened. That's a lot of buttons, and I don't know how it happened. And I do like that he said, "Hey, Unc gets it in." Like that was part of his explanation. But there's a part that weirded me out a little bit.
What's that?
You don't hear him at all.
Yeah.
You heard him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear him at all. And so I wondered if maybe...
I heard him.
You heard him?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just heard her.
No,
maybe I didn't have it turned up enough.
Yeah, he was sounding like a gorilla that just ran a 300-yard shuttle.
Okay, because that's what weirded me out. I was like, I didn't hear him, and I was just like, he's not like me because I get
You loud?
you know. Yeah.
Put in the chat if you're loud when you.
Are you quiet? Are you loud? Because I was like, oh, maybe he was not doing the full thing. Maybe he was doing the running through the okra patch.
Oh no. He was like he was grunting like Magilla Gorilla. Okay. And then that's when the whole thing came out about that's my Michelle. That's him talking. Okay. Said, that's my Michelle.
I must not have watched long enough. I watched for like 20 or 30 seconds and I heard her do 2 sentences and some sounds. And I was like, oh, no. Well, I make sounds. Or I will the day that I find love. Welcome.
Yeah, sounds are good. Everybody. Fellas, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, fellas. Let that thing fly and let her know you appreciate her.
Yeah. Of course. Let's go to Joe Hoyt, who's out at the Star in Frisco.
Let's hear sounds from Joe.
Joe, what kind of sounds would you like to make today? Hey, Joe.
Yeah, I'm in public, guys, so I don't think I'm going to be making any sounds. I'm going to be the silent assassin today, but that was a wild intro, fellas. That was wild.
Yeah. That's how we get down.
You never done stuff in public?
Well, that's another conversation. But you want to talk Cowboys?
Oh, coward. Yes, I would love to talk Cowboys. What are you bringing to the alldlls.com and what are you bringing to the party today, Joe?
Forgive me for making this pun, but speaking of getting in, we'll see if Jake Ferguson gets into the game on Sunday because he's dealing, with that MCL sprain and the bone bruise. And that was one thing where he talked about it. We talked with him yesterday and he said, yeah, I heard a pop. I couldn't put any pressure on it. My pain was a 10. And then the specialists go, hey, Jake, we're fearing you might have a torn ACL. Tears start going. And then quickly they start doing some tests and they realize, okay, the ACL is intact. So it was kind of a wild moment for him. He says that if he's good to go, then he's going to be good to go. He's a football player. He's tough. He can go through it. But he also knows that if he's not good enough to be his 100% self, then he trusts Brevin Spann-Ford, Luke Schoonmaker, and then maybe Hunter Lipke to go out there and make plays too. Reminder, John Stevens is still dealing with an injury too.
Okay, 2 things on that. One, that's messed up for a doctor to say we fear you might have a torn ACL because as somebody who's torn an ACL, and I bet Jesse's probably familiar with the test also, if you've ever hurt a knee, it takes 4 seconds. Don't tell me we fear you have a torn ACL. Put me on the ground, bend the leg, push pull, and we'll know if I have an ACL. You jerks. And on top of that, I would be really worried about what the tight end room looks like if you don't have Jake Ferguson. Do we have, and like John Stevens, is that something that is out another week or maybe we don't know yet? Just a lot of Schoon?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of Schoonmaker and then kind of using Hunter Lipke a little bit in more of a versatile option, kind of incorporating maybe some packages that they probably didn't anticipate doing this early. But, I think with both John Stevens and Jake Ferguson, the next 2 days are pivotal. I think Jake's going to give it a go, in terms of in terms of testing that knee today. He was with the return to play group yesterday, did not practice. He was, on the bike a lot. So I think he's going to give it a test today in terms of to see how confident he can be on that knee. And if he is, he'll go. If not, then they'll probably exercise some caution and sit him out for at least a week.
But the vibes that you're getting from camp, does it feel like Ferg will go on Sunday? I mean, it's Thursday today. So if he hadn't practiced all this week, kind of usually get around that Friday, Saturday range where we start saying we need to make sense of what we're going to do going forward.
If I'm a daily fantasy player, I'm not putting all my eggs in the basket of him playing. I think, they expect a lot out of Jake Ferguson in terms of taking that third-year leap. Again, we were talking about potentially torn ACL, right the moments after it happened. I think that they're going to exercise some caution is what I would bet. But you never know. Jake Ferguson's a tough dude. So we'll see.
Oh, we got comments that says play Steve. Okay, that's talking about the Cowboys, I would assume, not fantasy. Don't play. I'm just going to tell all of you, don't play a different Cowboys tight end in fantasy. It's just don't.
No, don't do it.
I'm just giving you advice. Now, Joe could have to bail on us at any moment because in theory, Mike McCarthy's press conference starts in 30 seconds. But I do want to sneak in what you wrote for our website and what is unique about Mike Zimmer's challenge against the Saints this week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be writing on that today. I think with Clint Kubiak, though, I think it's really interesting because Mike Zimmer, that was his former OC, was Clint Kubiak. And so there should be a lot of familiarity, right? But Clint Kubiak also went to the Kyle Shanahan School of Offense last season and was their passing game coordinator. Trayvon Diggs says there's a lot of San Francisco in the New Orleans Saints film. That's something that, this Cowboys defense maybe is a little familiar with. Mike Zimmer's had good success against Shanahan offenses. That's a little wrinkle to this game that we didn't expect. And I am going to head out now. But
No,
later, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait.
I love how Joe, like, I don't know where Joe was at the Star.
I think he was.
But is it just people or beat writers just real cocky about where they can go? Because, like, I feel like I'm either in the lobby or the place I'm supposed to be, and I feel like he just found some room.
Yeah, so there's a room around the corner. It looks like a library. So you go right around the other side of...
You missed an R.
Library?
Nope, you still missed an R.
What is it called?
There's an L-I-B-R, airy, library.
Library.
No.
Library.
No, that would be a strawberry that doesn't tell the truth. You're talking about where you go to get books.
Library.
No, it's not library.
So how do you say it?
Library? Yes.
Library? Library.
Okay, in the text, type in the word that you mispronounce and you refuse to fix it. That would be lovely. And make sure that you're hitting that like and subscribe button.
I never thought about that until just now.
I've never heard you say it until just now.
Library. I definitely say library.
I bet it is interesting playing against a person who used to work for you, but also like mentioning that Kubiak went to the Kyle Shanahan School of Offense last year, and Trayvon Diggs saying it looks like them. That actually kind of scares me because Kyle Shanahan is, if he ain't the best, I don't know who is.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh no, Christian McCaffrey's out. And a guy whose name I didn't know was like, that's fine. I'll take it 28 times for $156 and a couple of tutties. And it doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the dude. It doesn't matter who plays running back for the dude. It's just, and I guess we'll work our way through that throughout the show when we talk about their offense. Cause you saw kind of the same thing where it's just like, yep,
I did.
Get ready.
I did.
Everybody moves, everybody parties. And that's what you're going to have to deal with.
I called them the great value 49ers. Like when I was poor coming up, like you would eat like the bag cereal. You know what I mean? Like the it would be like
I had off-brand, but I don't remember a bag.
You don't remember
it was
a bag
that did not have a box around it? It was
right,
just a bag.
It was a bag.
And was like a gallon. Like you just go down and get handfuls.
Yeah, like you just pick up like a whole bag, and it was like usually it'd be like the sugar smacks, but it'd just be like sugar snacks, and it wasn't the, you know what I mean, the one with the frog on the box. There's a difference. Both edible, both get you through breakfast. One just a little different. You know what I mean? That's what I think about these two teams.
Abby is in the chat. Hi, Abby, who's like 12 feet away. Y'all, Jesse, I say the exact same. I audibly laughed.
Thank you, Abby.
Most people say library. Don't let Jeff make you feel bad. From Jake. Don't. Like, there are words that I say wrong too, I'm sure. No, I'm a professional. No, that's what I do for a living.
Library.
I talk.
How do you say ambulance?
Not like that.
How do you say it?
Ambulance.
All right.
When you say words, if you say it, like if I said ambulant, just twice almost got me, ambulance. If I say a word like 4 or 5 times, the word stops making sense.
I got you.
And it doesn't even...
It starts to like sound weird.
Yeah, like it sounds weird and I no longer am confident that it's a word.
That happens to me when I like write something and then I'm like, wait, that's how it's spelled?
Is that real?
Wait, that doesn't look like a real word anymore.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the way it goes. Well, this is the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Coming up next, we will have Saints offense versus Cowboys defense. Everything that you need to know, including Trayvon Diggs had a little preview for us that cracked me up. We'll do all that. But first, let me talk to you about my friends at Sleeper. The Sleeper app is great. It's what I've always used for our fantasy football stuff, but now you can do way more fun things on there than just play fantasy football. Like, for instance, let me see what I've got tonight. Tonight, I've got Josh Allen to go over his projected 194.5 passing yards. Okay. I got Jonnu Smith to go under half a touchdown. Yeah. Tight end, Miami. Right. Yeah, if he doesn't score a touchdown, bang, got that one. And Justin Herbert on Sunday to go over 219.5 projected passing yards. Bang, bang, bang. You make 3 picks. And now suddenly that's for 3.25 times my money. On Sleeper, you can pick It's all the way up to 100 times your money. You just pick more things just like that. Maybe you're a hater. You want to hate on somebody, pick that they're going to do less than. Maybe you love somebody, you're going to pick them to do more than. I don't know. You do whatever you want. Just use the code DLLS Boys when you sign up on the Sleeper app, and you'll get up to a $100 match on that first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. DLLS Boys as your code.
And if you're going to these pick games like Jeff does, and you picking these players, and you just so happen to be in town for those games, go to Game Time. Go to Game Time right now. Use our code DLLS and get 20% off your first purchase. And go to one of these games. But if you're not, and that's okay if you are not a sports fan, go see a show. Go see a comedy show. Go see
Green Day was here last night.
A concert. I'm not a big concert fan. I am a comedy show person, so love to go see comedies. We're right next door to where a lot of these shows go down. But you want to go out there, go to Game Time, pick up your tickets. They eliminate all the fluff. They just give you great seats for great prices. Go ahead and use our code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. That'll probably buy you a beer.
Yeah,
probably buy you a beer.
Probably
buy a cold beer.
Take Z-Biotics before that beer, though.
I was going to say that. Maybe if that's not your thing, go get a burger or something like that. Yeah. But make sure you go to Game Time. See that app.
What time is it?
Game time.
Let's talk Cowboys football again, huh? Let's do that. Joe Hoyt, who for some reason he works with us, but that's way too many words in his name unless this is a burner account like we thought Clarence was the other day. That's really Joe. Cowboys reporter Joseph Hoyt. He thought McCarthy was coming, but it was a false alarm, and he hung up on us. Shout out to everybody that's here watching.
Tells me all
us.
I need to know about Joe when he gets into his Uncle Shay Shay bag.
He gets in his Uncle Shay Shay bag. False alarm. Okay.
Little quickie.
I got you.
Sometimes he might not finish the job.
Please hit the thumbs up, hit the like, and the subscribe button if you're around. YouTube.com/@DLLS_sports. We appreciate you. I see DJ's World in the chat. DJ's World is he's a quality consumer of the Cowboys product.
Okay. And then Jacob, just shout out real quick. His son was born last night, so congratulations.
Jacob!
Did you name your son DLLS, though?
I doubt it. Talk about Span Ford. No. How about that? Hope he blocks some people and maybe catches a pass. That'll be great. Cowboys and Saints, Sunday, noon. Of course, we will have a pre- and post-game show for you right here that you need to be a part of 30 minutes before the game and for an hour after the game. We're going to start off talking about the Saints offense and the Cowboys defense. And my favorite thing about people who play corner in the NFL, Jesse played receiver in the NFL. I was that close. That close. That close. There's a reason I never liked corners because, well, they're the same, right? I think the cockiest, most diva-ish people on the field, sometimes it's the quarterback, but it's the corners and the receivers.
Yes.
That's who it is.
Yes.
So the Saints have Chris Olave, former Ohio State receiver. He's a really good player. He's an incredible route runner. We'll talk about him. So Trayvon Diggs is going to get asked about a guy that he's going to have to cover. And you would think, oh, yeah. He's a really good player. Look forward to it. Great matchup. But that's not the way the mind works for an NFL corner. So it cracked me up, and so I want you guys to hear it. This is Trayvon Diggs being asked about Chris Olave.
What challenge does Chris Olave bring?
One more time.
What challenges does Chris Olave bring as a receiver?
This is a trick question.
A trick question.
He's a good player.
You just can't do it. You're like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to compliment him? It's not going to happen. Yeah,
I love it. I love
Good
it,
player.
though. I love the fact that while Trayvon is still coming back from the ACL injury and getting his sea legs back underneath him, you have to have a level of arrogance to be good, not just in sports, in anything. If you're going to be a great banker, a great whatever, you got to have a level of...
I bank better than every one of you.
I'm telling you, like confidence and arrogance, there's a fine line between the two, and you got to flirt with both of them.
Yeah.
And for Trayvon, it's the fact that he's still like, don't ask me that. Like I'm still him. I'm still him, and I can still get out there and do what I do. So it's going to be a great matchup between the two, but I love it. Yeah. I love that from Trayvon.
So when you, because you actually one-up me this time when it comes to watching film to get ready for the Saints game, and you actually watched them. I had a real problem with that because they played the Panthers last week. Yeah. And I saw some of the game and I was just like, I can't go watch the Panthers. Yeah. And so I was just going to dismiss the Saints in every way possible because they played the Panthers. But you actually have information to bring to the table.
No, when you watch the game, the Saints scored 47 points offensively. Now, are they a 47-point per game team?
Doubt it.
No. Like, will they probably get 40 points again at all this season?
Probably not.
Maybe one other time. Because the Panthers are that bad. Yeah. The Panthers are pathetic. But within watching the film, you start seeing some things that are very, very, very reminiscent of watching the 49ers. And the first thing that popped on the screen to me, I put the film in and I watched a couple plays, motion. You're going to get motion every single time. And sometimes you're going to get multiple motion. And while that's important for this game, a lot of young players out there for the Cowboys. You think about Nealon's going to be out there. Of course, you think about Overshown's going to be out there. Of course, you think about Carson's going to be out there. So having the eye discipline, right? Because when these things start shifting back and forth, players go from out in the backfield to out wide or in the slot. Guys can go in the slot into the backfield and someone else crosses the motion as well. There's going to be a lot of checks. So you got to make sure that you understand what we are checking to. Because you may break the huddle and it's one thing and they get to moving and shaking all around and now you got to check. And so this is going to be that chess match. And when you have young football players that have to play against that, you know, you got to be able to make sure that you do that. And that's one thing that they've incorporated into that offense is the motion. Like, that's going to be there.
I think all of the smart teams, like if you don't do that a lot, then I think you're just giving away an advantage, and it's silly. Like, the one play that jumps out to me is like when you find out that somebody is in man, right? You send a guy across the formation, somebody goes with him. I think it's a really fun chess match because I think a smart defensive coordinator would say, yes, we're going to follow. And while we're following, we're going to check. And we're no longer going to be in man. Once you get over there, we're going to be in zone. And you just like the goal is to not let the other team know what you're doing. And when you catch people in man, I remember I saw a play last week. It was the Rams. And I think it was a touchdown because it was Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. You go in motion and you see, oh, this guy's going with him. Except what I'm going to do is while I'm going in motion, we're both going this way. I'm going to hit the brakes and scream back that way. You slipped, touchdown, right. Wide open. And it's just part of the game that all of the really smart offenses have really incorporated now. And the Cowboys are kind of middle of the road at it. Yeah. And not that it's not fair to gauge what the Cowboys have done yet because I feel like in the second half they went cancel everything. Just like Zimmer after the game was talking about Micah Parsons and the things that they do. And he was like, well, you know, we didn't do all the things we can do to kind of open him up, and we will. It's like we're not gonna break out everything because we thought we already had this game won, and we can kind of hold on to some of that stuff.
And then
go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, also one of the things that you're going to see a lot of, and this goes back to knowing where you're at, listening, understanding. You're going to see every personnel possible. You're going to see 12 personnel. That's one back, two tight ends, two wide receivers. You're going to see 21 personnel, two backs, one tight end, two wide receivers. You're going to see 13 personnel, one receiver, one back, three tight ends. You're going to see 11 personnel, three wide receivers, one tight end, one. I mean, you're going to see 01 personnel. We just got 4 wide receivers, and those 4 wide receivers might be Olave. It might be Kamara. It might be Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, who plays. I seen Taysom Hill play fullback.
I hate him.
Running back, tight end, receiver. Oh, and by the way, he's also your backup quarterback.
Right? Yeah, I hate Taysom Hill.
And so that's another thing. It's formations defensively, personnel coming in and off the field, right? Because if it's 11 personnel, then it's probably going to be more nickel or dime. If it's 13 personnel, it's probably going to be more of a, base package. So all these guys coming in and off the field, that creates also this level of confusion that they want to have on the Saints sideline. So they're going to line up in many, 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 many different formations.
That's the smart stuff. You run in 3 tight ends and the other team goes, oh crap, put in an extra linebacker, put in an extra, like we got to stop the run. And then those tight ends all line up out wide and you go, oh crap, we got to cover them all with these guys that we put in. I think that is the fun stuff. One thing that I just want to mention, because Derek Carr is the quarterback of the Saints, And I just find him to be incredibly interesting for this reason. I think he is the prime meridian.
Yeah, there we go.
The Mendoza line.
Mendoza, I like that.
No, but Mendoza means you bat 200, and that sucks. Like Derek Carr is the line in the NFL of the quarterback that if you have him, you're like, okay, what else can we do? And if you don't have anyone as good as him, you're like, please, God, can we get Derek Carr? Because I just think of him with the Raiders, and they were like, all right, what guys, come on, we can do better. And then the Saints were like, how much money you want? Like, we will absolutely take you. And that's probably kind of where I fall. And like when people talk about Dak and like 60 million, that's too much, whatever. It's like, where is your line for, yes, pay the guy what quarterbacks make? And I think Derek Carr is the line. And then Kirk Cousins exists somewhere just above the line.
The white version of him?
And then of Dak?
Yeah.
That is not, he never really said
Nobody
that.
said that?
Nobody really actually said that. I do look forward to Trayvon Diggs covering their receivers because, like, Chris Olave is super good. Like, he's plenty fast, but he's just a hellified route runner.
All right, so stay right there. Hold that point because what you previously said, it's like we worked together before, was kind of my next point with the quarterback, with Derek Carr. Like, he's still a decent quarterback. Like, I'm not saying he's in the category with the top 10 of the quarterbacks.
He's like the 13th best quarterback in the league.
And in this Kubiak offense, just close your eyes and think about what Brock Purdy is, right? Think about how Kyle Shanahan wants to deploy Brock Purdy. And it's just like, I want to be able to have the great formation. Your eyes still closed? I want to deploy the great formation. I want to motion this thing, and then I want to do all this pre-snap so that you know exactly where the ball's supposed to go. Okay, you can open your eyes. And so that's what Derek Carr has turned into now.
7 eye candies, throw a slant.
And that's what it is. And like, and there was one play in particular where Derek Carr is rolling out right, and we've all known Derek Carr to be one of those super.
He'll rip it.
And sometimes not great decisions. He's rolling out right one time, and the tight end has a deep over. And the DB is kind of like, he hadn't fully undercutted it, but he's playing that hip a little bit. Like, if you throw it from 25 yards away, I'm going to close it and intercept that. And you can just see how many like times Derek Carr is fighting himself. Like, I'm going to throw it. And then he goes.
He wants to let his Jameis out.
He wants to go full Jameis Winston. But, like, that's the part of this scheme where they've taken the guesswork out of it. Like, once I line you up, once we motion, like, the ball goes there. And we'll live what the results after it goes there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, read through all this stuff. If they're in zone, they do this, ball goes there. If they're in man and they do this, ball goes there. And it's game one, but he's done a really good job in that.
What I want to do is there's still at least 2 more things, Saints offense versus Cowboys defense, that I want to talk about. Okay. So we're going to carry it over, and we'll talk about it in like 90 seconds. And then we'll talk about the Cowboys offense and the Saints defense, and we'll have ourselves a continued Cowboys-Saints preview party, and we will do that next on the Cowboys DLLS Podcast. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you're here. Do that for us. Let's talk about my friends at Z-Biotics. What they have is a product called Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol, which I am a huge fan of. I have a wedding tomorrow, and so guess what my first drink of the evening is going to be before my first cold beer? It's going to be Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol, so that I will be confident that I can have my fun, wake up in the morning feeling good.
Don't go live.
You need the, I'll do it.
Oh.
If I'm proud of what I'm doing,
let's go.
Use the code DLLS Cowboys on zbiotics.com. That's how you get the hookup for 15% off. And it's Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol, the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists, and the idea is to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Because when you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut, and that is what's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme that breaks that byproduct down. Bang! So make Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you will feel your best tomorrow. Works for me. Going to work for you. DLLS Cowboys is the code that you need to have for 15% off on that purchase. And we love them. Go to zbiotics.com/DLLS Cowboys. 15% off. Thanks, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and my good times tomorrow.
Yeah.
We also want to encourage everybody out there to sign up to be a diehard. Okay?
Let's go.
Take your butt to our website, alldlls.com, and sign up to be a diehard. Because what you get is all sorts of hookups.
Come on.
We're your one-stop shop for everything DFW sports.
Yep.
We got a Cowboy show, we got a Maverick show, we got a Stars show.
Shout out to Dirk was on the
We got a Maverick show.
Mav show yesterday.
Dirk was on the show.
Come on now. We're not playing around.
So if you missed that one, youtube.com/@DLLS_sports and go watch Dirk just hanging out. He put one extra L in the name, which I feel him.
Yeah.
Because the 2 L's can be kind of iffy.
Yep.
Sometimes I think I might say 1, sometimes I might say 3, but there's just 2, DLLS.
And I forget the R in library.
You forget the R in library. Yes. Podcasts and live shows on every team, every day. We got post-game shows for every game, so make sure you're subscribed. Premium written content for members at alldlls.com. This is for you, the diehards. If you sign up for this, you get the premium written content. You get 20% off events. You get super merch for all teams, free T-shirt, 20% off the merch, and a members-only Discord where you hang out with us, and we talk about all sorts of stuff. Rings of Power episode came out today. What's up? The Galadriel show. Is she going to catch Sauron? Who is the wizard? Who is the weird visitor? Is that Gandalf? I don't know, but we can talk about it in the Discord.
Let's talk about it. I'm going to come in there and talk about it too.
Okay.
Let's go, Gandalf.
You're absolutely not.
Maybe not. Hey, we dressed alike together. We didn't even notice that.
We went blue and we had gray bottoms.
Yeah, look.
But I wore shorts because I knew we were in this studio and I was allowed to wear shorts. Yeah.
2 pumps are good. 3 pumps will get you fined.
I don't know what that means. So
the Von Miller rule.
Oh, the celebration.
2 bumps. Yeah, 2 pumps are good. 3 pumps to get you a flag.
My mind went to something else.
See? That's my Michelle.
I think the Saints will be fun to watch on offense because they got one of my favorite offensive linemen, so it'll be a really cool matchup to watch.
It would take you to say that.
What?
I'm a draft guy. There's no one on earth that starts a sentence with, I think the Saints will be really good on offense, and then end the sentence with, because they drafted one of my favorite offensive linemen.
Yeah. No, I don't think they'll be really good on offense. I think it'll be a fun matchup to watch. Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. He's their starting left tackle. He's a rookie. He's a badass. But Micah Parsons is way better. But I just wanted to highlight that is one of the guys on that team that gives them a chance to be a good offense. Their center's badass. Their left tackle's a rookie, but he's a badass. The rest of it, we'll see. And that's a tall order for any rookie when Micah Parsons lines up. But I just want to get it out there. It's a preview of their offense. I want you to know the guy that I want to watch. Talise Fuaga, left tackle. And then Alvin Kamara's 29.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to still be afraid of him. Like, I kind of am, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be.
I like him.
And we looked up his numbers before the show. And I was like, oh, look, he's every running back ever. His first 4 years, he averaged 5 yards a carry. His last 4, he averages less than 4 yards a carry. But teams change, offensive lines change, etc. When I watch him play, I'm like, yeah, he's good. I'm afraid of him, but I don't know if I should be afraid of him.
Again, in the chat, close your eyes and think about Christian McCaffrey, right? Like, I know, just minus the locks.
All right, he's white.
And the melanin, right? Minus the locks and the melanin and the gold grill.
Okay, so change his hair, his teeth, and his color.
Right. But he's used in the same mode. Like, he's going to run a little bit in between the tackles. They're going to try to get him on the edge a lot, right? They're going to do a lot of these stretch plays where they're just stretching it out, and he finds a hole and he hits it. He's really good at that. He's a patient runner.
Good luck. Overshown's on his way, buddy.
I get you. I'm with you. Overshown, I'm with you. I was going to say, just make sure that you stay. Yeah, where's Clarence at? 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. He's a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. They line him up outside the number. They line him up in the slot. They throw the ball to him in the screen game. They throw the ball to him in the flat routes. All different times a way of getting him the ball. So last week, he had 5 receptions and he had 83 rushing yards. So, this is a guy who's still a complete player and can kill you on multiple levels. So he's a guy that I don't know if I have nightmares about him.
But they're not dreams either.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I like his running style. He's not going to run you over, but he's so slippery to tackle. Like, you never get a full clean hit on him.
Have you ever seen his workout stuff?
Yes.
Not that I think that you can really tell what people are always doing based on their workouts. Like, yeah, look, he's working hard. But he does specific exercises that I think are really, really, really smart for running backs. Like it's stuff where you're sitting on one foot and bands or weights that are pulling you certain directions. Like
contact balance.
Yes. The best thing the running back can do is you hit me, so what?
Contact balance.
It doesn't mean I'm falling.
Stability.
Yeah. So it's like I can be on this foot, get hit this direction, and I'm good. I can and that's genius stuff to work on for running backs. I remember seeing some of his workouts and I was like, that's really smart. Squats are great. You know what's better? Knowing that if I'm going from running left to right, my left foot is on the ground, you hit me in my right hip, then I'm okay. And I'm going to survive that. I'm going to keep going. But he's 29 years old. Old running backs don't scare me.
And then the last thing for me, when you talk about offensively, they're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to, get the ball out quick. But they will pat that thing 2 times. Oh, yeah.
The PTB 2?
They're going to pat that thing 2 times, let it fly. And they're either going to let it fly to number 22.
Rashid Shaheed.
He
runs fast as hell.
He runs fast. And like he's the guy if he's out on the field and he breaks the huddle, I don't care who you are, you're not impressed. Like you're not impressed anymore. Even if you're in man-to-man coverage, step back. Just take a few steps back.
Go ahead and
just go ahead and step back a little bit. And I get it, Trayvon. You trick question. No, it's not a trick question. And you're not faster than him. And if
that's smart. It's smart to have a dude who's an absolute burner opposite another guy that is fast and is the better receiver.
Right.
Because what are you going to do? If you're not helping on Chris Olave, you could be in trouble.
For sure.
But if you are helping, you better have 2 deep safeties because if you're not helping on that guy, he's running by you.
And so this all like he has big playability. They have a
Cowboys by 100.
They have a decent tight end in Foster, Monroe, and Juwan Johnson. They kind of play a little bit of both. But if you can get Derek Carr off his spot, if you can get Derek Carr to kind of revert back to the older Derek Carr,
get that mascara running a little bit,
get him sweating, and get him thinking about I can dominate this game by myself.
Yeah,
you're in a great situation. But this team offensively, they can play. They can play. They can go.
And defensively, the Saints can always play.
Yeah.
Like they've been a top 10 defense the last 5 years. Last year, I believe they were second in points and yards. And I'm looking at the guys on that team and I go, okay, but I don't go, oh no. Like you look at the Cowboys, you go, Micah Parsons, problem. Tank Lawrence, problem. Blandon Diggs, problems. Like you go down the list. And on the Saints, I look at them and I go, Cam Jordan, problem. Like your rookie offensive lineman, you're going to have to deal with Cam Jordan up and down the line. He's a really, really, really good player. And the rest of the guys I look at and I'm like, yeah, Marshawn Lattimore used to be.
Who's questionable to play in this game.
So like it's impressive how good they are every year on defense, considering I look at the individual players and I'm like, okay, they're fine.
Yeah. They don't have, defensively, they don't have any superstars, right? They don't have a guy that can completely wreck the game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cam Jordan's a good player, really good player.
Sure. He's
in year 13.
Tank. He's their tank.
He's in year 13.
Right.
He knows all the tricks of the trade. He knows all the moves, all that. Like if you give him too many one-on-one matchups, he'll probably win a few of those.
Yeah.
Right? And then you got, in the second level, you got DeMario Davis, who 35 years old, still playing a good brand of football. Right?
He's angry.
Yeah. And Lattimore, he came out the gates. Like when he first got into the league, he was like,
he's a stud.
He was a stud. I think he had like 11 interceptions like his first 2 years or something like that. And then the Honey Badger, like he's just one of those annoying pests who's just always around. But he's still going. So they have a collection of these veteran guys who at one point in time, they were the best at what they did.
Yeah.
Who are still playing solid football. And I think that's key for what they want to do. You're going to see a lot of over and under fronts, especially on third down. They're going to give you these different looks on third down. They're going to give you some under looks, going to give you some over looks on third down. They're going to do so I'll say this. Last week, the Cowboys did a great job with helping Tyler Guyton, right? Just different things.
Yeah.
Cooper Beebe didn't see much kind of action like right over top of him. Won't be that way this game. Cooper Beebe's gonna have to see some action.
Coop's ready.
Like they're running some TT stunts. They're lining guys up over top of him. Like they're doing a lot of different things where he's gonna have to be in the action. Last week he was able to kind of just snap the ball and then help where he needed help at, stuff like that. But this week it's gonna have to be that. And I was talking to Nate Newton about it, and it's gonna have to be that snap punch, right? Like And that's going to have to be that quick motion where I got to get the snap back quickly, but also because there's a guy literally over top of me.
Yeah.
Get the punch in there and then get ready to get set again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what they do defensively.
For Cowboys offensive line starting 2 rookies, that's kind of a rough start to give them Browns defense, Saints defense. I think that's 1 and 2 from a year ago.
Yeah.
And yet I think I do expect that the Cowboys will offensively be good against the Saints. Because as we're going through this and you're talking about all of their good players, I'm like, there's no way that year over year now Cam Jordan's getting better, right? Because he's 103 years old.
Right.
Demario Davis is 104 years old. There's no way he's getting better. Honey Badger is 105 years old. There's no way that he's getting better. Like, this might be a little bit of a trickle-down year, and they got to play the Panthers in week 1. So, ideally, this is a week where CeeDee and Dak get going.
And
this
that's
is a
possible.
10 for $150 and 2.
It's absolutely possible that they can get going. Don't forget, they signed Chase Young in the offseason. Now, Chase Young, in my opinion, he's never lived up to being, what was it, number 2 overall pick?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a 15-sack guy. Yeah. Like, he was supposed to be a defensive player of the year candidate.
But he's still a guy who has some athleticism, he can still go a little bit. And so I'm not saying just forget about him. I'm saying that he's over there. I'm saying that he's over there and he has enough skill that he can cause a little bit of an issue. William Gay, remember him?
I remember Willie Gay in Kansas City.
Yeah. Didn't play much last game. And that was partly due to personnel. Panthers, when they got down early in that football game, they had to go to a lot of 11 personnel. So he wasn't on the field. I think he played like 8 or 9 snaps that last game. But depending on how the Cowboys play this, they'll be able to do what they do. But this is going to be a really good week to see if the Cowboys can't get their running game going.
Okay. I'm ready to fight. Because I was just thinking through, I think this is an aired out game. Because I'm looking, I think about the Saints, right? You have 2 D tackles. Brian Breesy is a rookie that
first round pick
hopefully will be a good player for them. But when I look at Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson on the other side, like, I think of them as run players and not explosive pass rushers. When I think of Demario Davis, I think as a run game thumper, their linebacker. And so, like, I feel like that's a defense that's sort of built for, we're tough. We're here at the line of scrimmage, and not a team that is like, we are going to destroy your quarterback. I think it's a throwing game, but they do. I know the Cowboys want to, and we want to see it. I want to know, is your running back good enough that if you block well enough that you can run the ball? Because if we're gearing up for another year of running for 4 yards per carry, that's gross. So I'd love to see that growth this week. And I think if we do, it would be very encouraging, because I think of the Saints as a team that are a run-stopping defense. So if you can run on them, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think establishing the running game early on does a number of things. It continues to settle down your rookie players, your center and your tackle. I think it also wears down these older players. It wears down the Cam Jordans and the Demario Davises, so that when I want to get into play action, then now I have time to sift through this thing, because
you'd rather have offensive linemen catching you than teeing off on you every play.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I think, early in the year, they do have some fresh legs on the other side of the ball. But I think establishing that running game sends a message not only to your offensive line, not only to their defensive line, but continuously through the rest of the league, that we're going to continue to work this run game. And now we're going to have play action off that.
Kat, can we scroll up with just what's wrong with 4 yards per carry from Clarence Hill? 4 yards per carry is terrible. It's terrible. You're wasting plays. League average is like 4.2, 4.3. If you can run for 4.5, fine. If you run for 4, you're awful. You're awful, and you should stop calling run plays or get better running backs or a better offensive line. And shout out to up a little bit. There's somebody who said Brian Roll. Can I get that comment? Because he's not wrong. Every game is an aired out game for me. I just want a 40 burger. I just want to score. Now hold on, chill. I heard you trying to yell. We'll be with you in like 90 seconds, dude. Clarence Hill is going to join us here in about 90 seconds to talk to us about Mike Zimmer and Micah Parsons and their budding buddy cop film and why the whole NFL is in trouble. So give me 90 seconds, because before that, Just want to encourage you one more time. Please hit the like and subscribe if you're watching. We appreciate you guys being a part of the show. We love it. We love interacting with you guys. We love doing this show. And we want to be here forever. Yes. You have to hit like and subscribe for us to be here forever. That's the rules. Show. YouTube.com/DLLS or at DLLS_sports. And we want to encourage you to be a diehard and get the full experience of what we're doing here. You can always, for free, watch all of the shows, right? We have our weekly shows on every team in Dallas.
You make that sound like it's optional.
What?
It's no option.
You have to watch?
You got to watch the damn shows.
Or else. I mean, it's not, if you don't want the best coverage of your local teams, you're welcome to do whatever you want. You could go somewhere else and get worse coverage, or you get the best right here with us. But if you become a diehard, well, now we're cooking with bacon grease, because now
that's not how it goes. Now we're cooking with bacon grease?
Yeah, that's what I say when you're really going, is you're cooking with bacon grease.
That's not how that goes.
Just grease?
Yeah.
If you were a diehard, guess what you would get? A free t-shirt? Our merch shop is badass. Check it out. All DLLS.
I mess up words. You make up sayings.
I've always said now we're cooking with bacon grease. Did we just say cooking with grease?
Now you're cooking with grease.
Now we're cooking with grease. If you want to be cooking with grease that's not from bacon, it's from somewhere, well, then bacon grease would work fine. It's still grease. If you could get a free t-shirt.
Now we're cooking with fish grease. Now we're cooking with chicken grease. Now we're cooking with... No, that's not how it goes. It's not... You can't make things up.
20% off all the events that we're going to have. 20% off merch. You get an actual physical card that says that you're a diehard. You get access to our members-only Discord. We have awesome merch for all the different teams. You're going to want discounts on that. And those things you can get if you go to alldlls.com and sign up to be a diehard.
Duke 22. Now you're cooking with goose grease.
I got something in my left eye.
Probably bacon grease. Probably bacon grease.
I made bacon this morning. Turkey bacon doesn't have much grease. In case you're wondering, it also doesn't taste as good. Isn't it wild how the stuff that's better for you doesn't taste good? That sucks. Anyway.
That would be one question when I get to the pearly gates.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm getting to the pearly gates. I'm a blood washed believer.
If there is an afterlife, you will go to the rewarded side.
I'm going to. But I would ask, like, Lord, you could have easily made pizza a healthy food. Easily. Like, you turn water into wine, my boy. Like,
well, he didn't make pizza.
Like, yeah, he created, like, bro, you fed.
Like, he didn't create pizza, even if he's there. He didn't create pizza.
5,000 with 2 fish and a couple crackers. You could have easily made pizza.
Right, but people made pizza out of the stuff that he gave you.
Yeah, but you could have.
He gave you wheat.
Yeah, you could have made pizza. You could have made bacon. And the grease that it's cooked in.
But then the pig would have been made of grass. But it's outside of our domain.
I mean, I'm going to ask the question when I get there. That's all I'm saying. Is
fair.
I got to say, I can see Clarence's reaction.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to ask him why men have nipples. And why do we have an appendix?
Not to get too much into the Shay stuff.
It is a pleasure zone.
It's a pleasure zone for your boy.
Clarance Hill's here. Yeah,
there you go.
Chill. Hey, what's up, buddy? What are you up to?
If you think Kamala had reactions, the reactions you guys, first of all, is cooking with gas or cooking with grease. That's the colloquialism. It's been there. It's been in the neighborhood. Cooking with gas, cooking with grease, not bacon grease, not chicken grease. Secondly,
if you wanted to check out a book, if you want to check out a book, where would you go?
The library.
Son of a bitch.
What do you check out a book from, Jesse? And I didn't say Brary, I said Barry, library. You went to library.
There you go. You go.
Okay, but he clearly knew that he was wrong.
No, that's how he says it. That's how he says it.
Okay.
That's how we say it. Anyway, and Jesse, you brought up bacon. The Lord don't cut for bacon, okay? The pig, he don't really do that. So if you get to the pearly gate, don't ask him about bacon.
All right, we'll do.
Wouldn't it be cool if God just stared you straight in the eye and said, "I don't dig on swine"?
That's funny. They never bought a pig for the live sacrifice. It was always something else. That's a good point.
No, they don't cut for bacon. You guys were, before I get to DeMarcus. Before I get to Micah, I did want to bring up a point that Mike McCarthy, and we're talking about the running game, and I know you don't like 4 yards to carry, even though 4 yards to carry 3 times is 12 yards. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
It's not how the
he gushed. He gushed.
Gush.
Over.
That might be
gushed.
That might be gushed.
Gushed.
We don't have packages of gushers.
That might be gushed.
Okay. He gushed over Dalvin Cook yesterday. He talked about, the ramp up, but he gushed about his feet. And if you're looking for some more than 4 yards to carry, maybe the hope is Dalvin Cook has still some of that juice in the leg. I'm just going with Michael. I know you don't believe it. I know you call him old. I know you're leaving. I'm just talking about what the coach said. That's all. I just want to bring what the coach said. The guy that sees him every day. Jesse, I'm just talking about the guy that sees him every day. But he went out of his way to really gush about Dalvin Cook. And he didn't have to. And he talked about his feet. So I just want to put that in your back of your head. That's all I'm saying. That may be something.
Even as somebody who is a hater of every old running back, I do appreciate the information. I just want to sometimes walk away from it.
I'm an information guy. And that's why it was interesting yesterday. We were talking to Micah. And it's funny because, I kind of like the new show that ALLCITY had at the facility because they really break down and talk about football. And they were talking about the double A gap and how it's different with Zimmer and Dan Quinn and how they blitz from the double A gap. And Micah was talking about yesterday. I was like, Micah, you blitz from the A gap as a rookie. You've been doing this stuff. Why are we acting like this is new? You've been blitzing from the A gap. Last year, remember you did the crossover or the Euro step from the A gap? He's been lining up in the A gap and rushing the quarterback. This is not nothing new, but Micah said it really just jumped out, ding, ding, ding. He said the difference now is I have more free will. And Mike Zimmer is giving him the freedom to have more free will and also call the defensive lineman. They'll put the call back in. He's according to Micah, and we have to double check it with Zimmer, but according to Micah, he's calling the fronts.
Zimmer
doesn't know what I'm saying, but I just don't think he'll come out there and blatantly lie. But he's calling the fronts. He's calling the shifts and the fronts, and it's based on what he sees. And it's just interesting that Zimmer's giving this guy so much power because we remember when they first got here, the notion that Zimmer's going to come in and rein in Micah Parsons. He's going to rein in the podcaster. He's going to rein in this guy that freelances. And then, Micah didn't show up for the offseason program. Then when he got to minicamp, Zimmer ain't say 20 words to him. And there were stories that Zimmer's going to give him the what to and what for. And he's going to rein this podcaster, this guy who thinks he runs everything and everybody in the facility don't want him here. People want him traded. Then all of a sudden we get to training camp and they're having breakfast together. They're having breakfast together. Eating bacon, whatever. They're eating breakfast together, coming up with packages. And we were just talking about Micah told us, not only having bacon, not only they're having breakfast together, they're baking together. You got me confused. But not only they're doing that, but they're buying horses together. He's talking about buying horses. They're buying horses together. And it's just interesting how this relationship went from Zimmer's going to put him in his place to Zimmer's texting him tonight about horses. And they're going to be buying horses together. And to me, it speaks to Zimmer being a master psychologist. You know how I get you to buy into my system? I make you part of the system. I get you to buy into what I want you to do. I give you a role. I give you responsibility. Michael openly talked about it. Because he has responsibility, he studies more. He reads more. He's more accountable. He said, I want his approval. It's like, you want your dad's approval. Your dad's a big disciplinarian. You don't want him fussing at you. You want his approval. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Here's a guy, Michael wants Zimmer's approval. He's buying into this thing because he has responsibilities. And this could be something special here. If Michael, we know how great of a player he is, and the way Zimmer is scheming things. And again, the people in the facility, Chase Daniel, who breaks down defenses and breaks down football as well as anybody, said that what Zimmer's doing, unlocking his scheme, it's one thing to make the scheme where the players make the scheme, but he's saying the scheme is going to unleash the Cowboy players to make them even better. And Micah Parsons is an example of that.
I'm looking forward to it big time because We've now heard from multiple people because, like, I went back and listened to Zimmer after the game where he was basically talking about Parsons. And he was like, yeah, well, they were chipping on both sides every time. And we have ways to get him away from that, but we didn't really use them yet. Like, it was very much if you watch the game, you kind of felt the vibe that the Cowboys at halftime seemed like they were curious. Can we get home without doing anything else? Like, can we can we make it out of here? And then the answer was yes. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be really fun to see what all they unleash. And it makes sense to me because, like, when you're running like your stunts and stuff on the defensive line and you're changing plays on the fly because somebody goes like, somebody's got to be in control of, like, hey, here's what we're doing. Hey, if I'm going to go and then you go and then you. So if Micah is the guy that just gets to look and be like, okay, and I'm going center, and everybody else like, okay, we're out of your way. I think that's fun.
Right. And it's interesting because you pick it back to, because Zimmer told us on Monday that he needs to do better, and he's mad because they had too many double teams on Micah, and I need to come up with these schemes to free Micah up because we know teams are going to double team. Like, as part of the Micah package, they're going to double team, they're going to chip him. And Wednesday in practice, they met for breakfast, and Zimmer already had a new package of plays to unleash Micah, and that's what it excited Mike. He said, "We're going to put him in practice tomorrow." He said that Zimmer just doesn't talk about it; he does it. He's doing things to help unleash me. And the one thing we know about Micah, and all great players, and people think that people just go out there, you're a great player, you're just all athleticism. He's a high-end competitor. He does not like to lose anything. He talks about basketball when he talks about trash, when he plays softball, win home run derbies. If it's a computer game, he wants to win. And the same thing with this defense. He says, I'm going to study. I want to win. I'm a competitor. Zimmer's a competitor. I'm going to do what it takes. And I don't think he gets enough credit for it, how he studies and how he wants to win and his passion to be the best.
I think a lot of times it's unfair what we do to, as soon as somebody's out of town, they suck and they were dumb and everything that they did was bad. But do you get the vibe? I guess it's just the vibe I'm getting from everything I hear from players, that the change from Quinn to Zimmer on the whole is sort of energizing or reinvigorating because the voice is different.
Yeah, the voice is different, but the scheme is different. I think it's all about the scheme as well, and accountability. And listen, I was here because I know how the media around here blew Zimmer. I mean, blew Quinn. And everybody, Quinn was a genius, and you know that he's the Micah whisperer, and he's the reason why Micah, went from this off the ball linebacker to this all pro player because of how we used him. And Jerry talked about Zimmer being Quinn being a future head coach of the Cowboys. Everybody loved Quinn, of course, until the Green Bay game. But it's like he could do no wrong until the Green Bay game. But Zimmer is a seasoned coach. If you look back at Zimmer, in 10 of the last 14 years, his defenses have ranked in the top 5 in scoring defense. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's a veteran coach. He talked about some other podcast earlier. The reason why he wanted to coach again was he wanted to let everybody know he can still coach. They still coach. He didn't want to.
He shouldn't have been on a podcast. He should have been busy working.
Yeah, of course. He didn't like how that ended in Green Bay, but I think there's so many different ways to win. I mean, Wink Martindale was a great defense coordinator one time, right? And I know, and don't kick my butt because I'm bringing up Texas. But a lot of people thought Wink Martindale going to Michigan. No, I'm just saying, a lot of people thought Wink Martindale going to Michigan, being with Baltimore, that he was going to somehow be a great defense coordinator, with Michigan. And Texas went right through him and said, I mean, it's about players, it's about schemes. It's a lot that goes into your success as a defense coordinator. And we should not just dump on Quinn like he is stupid now. Quinn was very successful. I think that Zimmer's way may be best for this team now.
Love it. Clarence Hill, thank you. Have a great day. Get out of here.
Hey, Chill, let me ask you a question.
Hey, Chill, stick around. Jesse has a question.
Do you think Michelle gushed or gooshed?
Michelle.
Have a good one.
He don't even know. He don't even know. You don't even know?
Is that Shannon Sharpe?
No.
I didn't know. All right. See you, Chill.
Have a good one, brother.
Neither?
Gushed or gooshed?
The word is gush.
I'm with you.
But I don't know what happened in that scenario at all. Okay. And before we depart, I would like to say something to appendixes. Like, what's up, man? You know, hit like and subscribe, by the way, please. 2i, the great Aisha, send her your good vibes. She's fine. She's healing up fine. She'll be right back here soon.
She'll be back.
But she
Come
had
on, get on that Jake Ferg.
She had the appendix thing happen and then they got to go get it and they got to take it out. And I've been Googling it for a long time. I've been trying to figure out. That's what we need to ask if you get to the pearly gates is, hey, how come?
What do they do
the
with
appendix?
it,
Like, is there
What
going to
does
be
the appendix do?
Nothing. That's the thing. Nothing that we're aware of. It just sits there until it might hurt you. And so it's like we should probably circumcise the appendix. You're born, take it out.
Okay.
Because it might hurt me later. You know? It might. That's why because it might do so. That's all.
Let's end the show.
All right.
Remember, let's end the show.
You have no idea what anyone's going through. So be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.